Welcome to class this month, The Curious Mermaid.
Welcome to OnlinePilatesClasses.com, the most supportive Pilates-loving community across the globe. Enjoy new weekly classes from our amazing teachers. Download the OnlinePilatesClasses.com app today.
So, obviously, we're like mermaids. We're obsessed with this. And also, thanks to Rachel Piper, I think this is her idea. The mermaid exercise, you can do it on the mat. You can do it on the reformer. It exists on the Cadillac tower and window chair. It's all about side bending. And the thing about side bending is if you feel like you don't have a lot of space between your ribs and your hips, I feel you. I also don't. Like if I just lean over, I'm like ribs on hip bone, right? So it's about creating space, and that exercise can be really difficult. Now, the good news for us on a reformer is that exercise comes way later. So we have all the other exercises to help us create the space we need to make mermaid a little bit more possible in our own bodies. I have a magic circle here. It's literally for like 2 exercises. So if you don't have one, don't worry about it. For the first exercise, if you have a ball or a cushion to push into, or you can even push into your foot bar and get the ideas that I'm trying to come across, you can do that. So what we're going to do is I like to get my foot bar out of the way for this. And you can also do this on the floor, but I sit crisscross applesauce with the magic circle just slightly in front of my hips and my arms straight. And then I'm going to push down into the circle, and it should come from where your arm meets your ribs. You should feel like this wing out on the muscles here as you push down and lift it up and push down and lift it up. And when I lift it up, I'm not lifting my shoulder up to lift it up. I'm pushing into the circle, and I'm still pushing into the circle as I let the circle return to its original state, right? We'll do 5 more. Last one. Awesome. Okay, so then I will use the headrest for this. You can also just turn around, right? So I have to scoot a little to the side and back to make it exactly where I want it to be. But again, you can just turn around and press. You're going to have one side that's a little bit more stronger, smarter, attentive than the other, right? So it's quite all right to repeat this with the other side. Just a few more. 2 and 1. Like I said, just a couple exercises. Get that out of the way. Get your foot bar back up if you put it down like I did. And then have 3 to 4 springs on and your headrest up. Let's go ahead, and now that our arms are connected to our back, we can lie down and test that connection. So we should be able to feel it when we push our arms down into the mat. The mermaid, you might think, is all about the side bend of the waist, but really it's about the arms connecting to the back that pull the waist into having space. So we're going to wake our arms up here, pushing them down without popping our ribs up. So breathe your ribs into the mat and push out and come in. 9 more. So I'm on the balls of my feet, heels together, toes apart. Sorry, I should have said that first. But we always start footwork toes around here. So if it's your first time with us, hi, welcome. Always footwork toes. It really helps connect the inner thighs. It lets us know how we're standing in the balls of our feet. Then we're going to come all the way in, lift both feet up at the same time and land on the arches. And it's not a big lift, it's just a little lift. It's going to connect our legs to our center more, which is going to help us sit out of our legs when we get to our mermaid. So you're squeezing your legs together if that's possible, and you're wrapping your feet around the foot bar. Pushing the arms down into the carriage and the ribs. And then come all the way in, lift both feet up a little bit so you can land on those heels and push out and in. Work the inner heel into the foot bar as you squeeze your legs together. It's easy to do the outer. You don't have to really think about it. 2 more. Last one. Woo. Lift both feet up, land on the balls of the feet. Push out, stay out. Hug the heels together as you lower, and then hug the heels together as you lift. So you're not going to go so low that you roll onto the pinky toe side of your foot and let your heels come apart, or your ankles even come apart. I know it's called tendon stretch, but we're stretching our heels from the crown of our head, not the ankles. So really trying to stretch the head one way as the heels go another. Last one. Awesome. Take the foot bar out of the way. If it's really complicated and you can't take it down like I do, you can have your legs just rest on top, and then when we sit up in a second, you can take it down. Have the legs long and together, grab your handles, arms up to the sky. Make sure your fingers are together as you lift your head and chest up and your legs up maybe, and pump your arms for your 100 here. So hugging those ankles together. Now, we can practice, or at least see, if we can right now have the longest waist. So even though we're not side bending, we're in flexion. You're not trying to curl up too high and be off of those ribs. You want the low ribs on the carriage, even maybe the tips of your shoulder blades. And then your tailbone is chasing your heels. So can you get even longer? Breathing in, exhaling out. Last one. Lower the legs, and the head and the chest at the same time as you lift your arms. Take your handles in one hand and sit on up. So this is where you get that foot bar out of the way. Go down to 2 springs. So I like a red and a bring, or a heavy and a medium. And then we're going to lie back on down for our coordination. I almost said mermaid like it's already here, but it's not. So get your elbows into your mat here. And then let's just leave your head down for just a second. Pull your knees into your chest, heels together. Just push your arms down and bend them. So what I want you to notice is if your elbows leave the mat when you push your arms down, or if they wing to the side. That is keeping us from having our arms connected to our back. And like I said, we need that in our mermaid. We need that where we're going. Lift your head and chest up now. Do the exact same thing, except for take the legs out, open, close them, pull the knees in, bend the elbows. And again, press out, open, close, pull the knees in, bend the elbows. One more, press out, open, close, pull the knees in, bend. Take a moment. You can repeat that, or we're going to take it a little further. Lift the head and chest up. Oh, hold the legs out there. Open just the right leg. Close. Open just the left leg. Close. Bend the knees, bend the elbows. Why are we doing this? Because we need our outer hips to help us on our mermaid. Press out. Open just the left leg. Close. Open just the right leg. Close. Bend the knees, bend the elbows. Press out. Hold. Crisscross. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees, bend the elbows. And I like to think that mermaids are doing some fun things with their tails. All right, so now you're going to sit up, spin around, get your headrest out of the way, drop a spring off. All right, so spinning around, facing your shoulder rest, legs between your shoulder rests. We're going to take our thumbs towards each other, lift up nice and tall. Squeeze your outer hips together. So a lot of people just sit on their legs. Squeeze your outer hips together, because if you squeeze them as outer hips together, so it looks like your booty goes, right? It's a little slurp. Right, it helps you get out of those hip flexors. And then round back with those elbows bent, open the arms up, and with the thumbs down, push the hands back. Dive in, reach your hands behind you. Maybe they touch, don't worry if they don't. It's not what we're focusing on today. And then right here, as you circle around, you're still bending over your legs and creating space, right? Space between your ribs and your hips, and reach. So round forward. So your head is pulling towards your knees, but your ribs are trying to lift up to the sky. How does it happen? Right here, when I lift my arms up, I keep my head down, but my ribs are trying to levitate away from the carriage. And again, and they can do that because your arms are connected to your back, right? And circle back and lift those arms up to lift your low ribs up in the front, up to the ceiling as your head rolls towards your knees. Oh, big stretch. Awesome. Okay, let's spin around. Hips against the shoulder rest. If you want a little more of a challenge, you come away from the shoulder rest. And then squeeze your legs tight together. Go ahead and reach those arms forward. Hold it. So we're as tall as we can be. When we lower the arms, it's like you're pushing into those magic circles. Getting taller, lift the arms up. Right here, that should help lift you up. So we're practicing our arms, lifting our ribs off of our hips. Open the arms out to the side and push into those imaginary magic circles that we started the class with. Again, bend the elbows, reach. And lower, lift the chest, lift the arms to lift the lower back, and push wide, wide, wide. And bend the elbows and reach, and lower, and lift, and open, wide, wide, wide. Flex the ankles, head towards your knees. Slide the hands along the mat. Oh my goodness, that was harder today. And circle wide to the side. So you get to practice right here. As you round forward, are you flattening out? Can you round without pulling your shoulders and your ears? and slide those hands along the mat, still pulling your waist back, 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 and lift it up and open. One more. And again, pull the waist back to reach the arms forward. Oh, big lift. Awesome.